I'll be hoping here for NKT. They baked that delicious cake. Now they've just got to put the frosting on it, Dust, and that's what they're going to be hoping to pull out here on their CT side.
We're gonna have words after this broadcast is over about that. As we do get into this pistol, did have a bit of a boost in middle with impression on top of those boxes. And I mean, this is one of those things where you know that boost is an option. It always is. But are you really going to expect it on pistol round? And that could blow up this mid-B attack right now. Oh, they're looking.
Oh, an impression. He's not going to miss either, is he? Hits the mark. Zion gets aggressive and does get punished. That gives them a way forward.
Yeah, that gives them a way to just now pivot into the A split, which again is what makes this map so difficult for CTs. Is how quickly Ts can pivot, but it may not matter if Aircast is popping grapes like that with that pistol. Oh my goodness. The good times keep rolling here for NKT.
Yeah, that is so brutal. It was a 4v4. They had long control, and they just lose players one by one, systematically shut down, and Blitz at range has given his position away. Well, death by 1,000 paper cuts, it looks like right now, if he continues to push out from the CT side. He does have a bit of time left.
I mean, I think he's kind of done so here.
Yeah, I was trying to be optimistic, but you're probably on the money with that one. And he comes, though. I'll just continue to be optimistic until he is put down, at least keeping the door open, but it's been slammed shut by Urcast right to the face. And again, NKT starting the best possible way.
Yeah, it was a good pivot from Checkmate. I mean, they caught Zion pushing along. Again, if you control kind of double doors and the stairwell of Catwalk, you can very quickly transition between mid-B splits and A attacks, which again is what makes it so hard for CTs to rotate properly on this map. What makes this map T-sided for a lot of the games that you'll watch on it, but just unable to capitalize there. As we do see the buy up here from NKT, just pistols here for Checkmate as they are going to get into lower B tunnels here. They're getting stuffed though on the choke points on the edges there by the utility of NKT, so just kind of getting funneled into middle.
Really slowing the pace down here. Oh, Checkmate, maybe anticipating some kind of a push. When you have 3 MP9s, when it gets to the nitty-gritty, like the up-close angles with smokes put down, I mean, that's going to be NKT's bread and butter, surely.
Yeah, crisscross smokes to get them out into middle and get them attacking to outside B, but it is spotted by Score, and he's able to get the frag onto Blitz. I like the idea there. They're now going to attack into A side. They do get it here. CT's having to kind of give that up and just play towards CT spawn because they were concerned about a mid-B split. Zion, though, still anchors long. He's being very patient, waiting for this late lurk and spots it. Heavy damage exchange. This player's going to get pinched off and long, it looks like. Azteca knows it and just runs all the way away. Back to Subway.
Cast with the frag just before the smoke fully plumes. They decide to push through, but Coolass has taken 2 heads. And with his teammate low, he has to be the main man, the protagonist of this story, but down he will fall from the back. Azteca was stuck on the wrong side of the smoke, having very little impact. Now the bomb is planted out there, and actually he's done enough. He's won the round by himself, just forcing away the player off the bomb. Out of nowhere, this round somehow goes in favor of Checkmate.
Yeah, and it really just comes back down to Azteca's pathing. Like, they knew that he was long because Zion spotted it from Blue Bin, but instead of running back-to-back Catwalk where he was likely going to get pinched, he goes all the way back to T-spawn and runs up Subway. So he goes for a very long play, which could have been a problem if Coolass had died quickly before he could get into position, but Coolass was able to get a couple of kills and stay alive long enough on platform to allow Azteca to make that flank up Catwalk and basically once off the clock because the bomb was planted for him. So that was a really brilliantly orchestrated round from Checkmate. We do see NKT force up here, so we're going to have a big battle here for economic control the earlier portion of this half. Whoever comes out victorious here will likely get a freebie in the next round and start taking that early lead.
Very similar start to how Nuke opened up. Obviously, we know how that one ended. Excurate stuck at the back of the site. Flashes being traded between the 2 teams, and now they're looking to try and funnel their way and bridge the gap. FAMAS rings out with good flashbangs alongside it. And it's Excurate that breaks the deadlock and breaks the neck of the first player over on Checkmate. But the bomb is being planted down, successfully now put in, but no one is there to help Techno out. And 3 shots across. They can't claim the frag onto Kulast. Out comes Kulast now, and he gets finished off. And it's only Blitz and a Stecker remaining. And actually, scratch that. No one stands any longer for Checkmate. Such a scrappy post-plant position there, and they've been punished hard.
They have, but that bomb plant gives them the option to maybe force right back into this one. It would be limited, likely, like, you know, upgraded pistols, armor utility, maybe a Galil here and there. Or they could just kind of bite the bullet, take the save here, give NKT the 3-1 lead, and then full buy the next, which is probably the better option, and it's one they're going to go for. I think that's the great call. I'm not going to continue the force wars. And so NKT should come up with a third here. Going to be a full-on B rush from Checkmate, at least trying to get a bomb plant. That incendiary, though, and this HE grenade going to slow them down.
Decided to pick up the pace.
Impression?
That looked to me like he had some kind of mouse issue, if I'm being honest.
Yes. Yeah, I got the same exact vibe. It seemed like either something happened with his PC or his mouse. Because he surely heard them run through the fire, because I think there was like a tick of damage on someone, so he must have heard that they were coming, and just, yeah, he just kind of froze up there. That's unfortunate, but hey, they won the round anyway pretty clean after that point, so no harm, no foul, really.
Yeah, didn't cost them the round at the end of the day. At least it's nothing serious. Oh yeah, good point, actually. There is 2 AWPs. That's pretty huge at this stage in the game.
Yeah, you probably don't expect it this early if you're Checkmate. It's always an option for Dust2, but again, it's a big investment, and maybe you're not expecting it this early in the game. This is aggressive from Excurate, so he's got to be careful with this lower B tunnels push.
Yeah, that position's facilitated by the Xbox smoke, but once the Xbox smoke clears, he has to get out of there, and he realizes it, so he pulls out alongside the secondary AWP of Score. So they've given up mid and catwalk control now.
Aircat's still kind of facing mid a little bit, you know, throwing a little bit of pressure out there. Blitz has been hit a little bit. What?
That ain't it, Chief. That ain't the one you were looking for.
I get what he was going for. He's going for that corner on the right-hand side, which is definitely a spot CTs can play and, you know, really throw a wrench in your game plan, but that ain't it. They do take middle, though. They're threatening mid-B split right now, and there's still no real rotation to help defend this mid portion of the attack. So, I mean, this is going to be a dangerous execute from Checkmate. I think a player got spotted there as well by Azteca. Oh, my goodness. This is going to be so bad for NKT, dude. They have no idea that Azteca's out here. Impression lucky to get 1 frag out of that situation.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt at all. And because of the heavy investment, they went with 2 AWPs. Money situation's not great for NKT, and already 2 players are pulling up to save.
Yep, good play. Aircats, I'm sure, is not going to linger for too long. Maybe just looking for like a 1 exit on his way out. There's a bit of money on Zyne to drop a weapon if need be. And so, yeah, Checkmate, just a great mid-B attack. And again, that's the danger of Dust2 as a CT team. It's how many resources do you want to commit to middle. And now that gun won't get saved. So it's just going to be the Galil and the op. Again, Zyne does have money to drop. Impression and Aircast can buy themselves a little bit of something here. Probably FAMAS, though, at best.
Kulast has a really good spawn for a B peak if he wants to go in for it. But yeah, this was the moment. It was a fantastic look through middle. And that pretty much was the play. At that point, they just looked to save.
I feel like NKT is going to have to adjust a little bit on how they patrol middle. Whether that's like leaving Aircast more in CT spawn or whatever the case may be. Excurate is going to be taking point this time with the op at middle. Just kind of leaving Impression to solo hole B.
I don't even think the double up was necessarily the issue. It's just the timing and lack of mid control that cost them.
For sure.
Flashbang into middle. Allows them safe passage to just hop across towards the catwalk side.
It's very bread and buttered, you know, T-side Dust2, you know, just getting that catwalk control, having presence on both edges of the map with, you know, Bartek here inside the long A tunnel. You got, you know, Techno doing his thing in B tunnels. So it's just really bread and butter. Again, Blitz getting good real estate. Up on the catwalk stairwell, Sign trying to do something a bit crafty at long, and this time he catches Bartek with a nade in his hand. That's such a big catch. Gives him an early man advantage. And Expert has his op posted at the back of B, gets his man, and not traded. Still alive, and spots bomb.
There's also a player watching middle, so Blitz may be living on borrowed time. The smoke's going to clear. He knows he could be pinched in from long, so he needs to get a move on through onto that B side. He may get the element of surprise onto the first player. There's the frag, but counteracted. Now the smoke is cleared. And Azteca's position at least has not been compromised, but he's only got 15 seconds and is nowhere near the bomb.
Yeah. Looks like he's just holding the AK here. Their money isn't the best despite, you know, the victories they've had. A lot of closer rounds, so while they will have money to rebuy here, Techno is low on cash and may have to get dropped a weapon, so that's why holding this AK is so important for Azteca. Yeah, Techno cannot afford an AK. Azteca could drop him his and buy up another one. It would also limit their utility going into the round. But obviously utility can be dropped if need be. And actually they're not going to do that. They're actually just going to go a little bit lighter. They're going to get Mac 10 and Tech 9. Ulas will get dropped an AK by Bartek. And there you have it.
It's a curious buy, isn't it? Because Azteca could have dropped a Galil or an AK across.
Yes. Yep.
Decided against it.
Kind of surprised by that because no one else held on to money. And you holding on to money by yourself doesn't really matter much at that point long term. So I do think that they could have just went ahead and dropped something to Techno besides the Tech 9. I think would have been the play. But, you know, to each their own. They're going to go for mid-B yet again. They've been favoring these crisscross smokes to get them out into middle.
Needs to be a valiant hold, but Impression's already been sprayed down. Here comes the Mac 10 as well. Score gets one, stays alive, and does force out the Molotov, so he won't be peeked into. This means he can act as a pivot point for the rest of his teammates.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised they mollied that window rather than leaving it kind of like as a threat. And now the CTs have a tough choice to make. Their economy is low. Retaking B can be very difficult. They do have some utility, though. Some flashes and a incendiary to put into play to where they could still maybe make this happen. But Blitz is playing such a tricky angle.
Oh, he's going to fall back into that Molotov as well as burning alive. Blitz, you've got to get back up there again. And he gets aggressive and he gets put down. 2 frags in quick succession. Here's the spray in, but he can't quite get the job done. And now Kulast on 26 HP just has to try and buy time. He falls down. Is there enough time for the defuse? They're off it. He's going to win the round off that basis. Checkmate get their third. And to add insult to injury, Excurate goes down with the ship.
NKT absolutely must adjust their defense. They are just leaving middle so exposed. And, you know, it's one of those things where that can be calculated that you leave mid open like that. But the problem is there's just been so many times where Preston's got shot in the back, bro, that there must be some kind of disconnect there at that point. You know, either there's a miscommunication on how well mid is being covered from CT spawn. Like, something has to give there. Either you have to have someone watching the mid-B push from outside of B with the crossfire and CT spawn. Just something's got to change there, Vince. You can't have mid open and have people getting shot in the back in B site.
I'm in complete agreement with you. Mid definitely seems to be the issue for the team right now, and it's being exploited time after time. Score down the middle of the two of them. That's an AWP that has now been laid bare.
Oh, Lord.
And to make matters worse, the knife gets twisted in 2 more times.
Yeah, while mid aggression is easier now as a CT team due to that new cover above subway that stops the vision from T-spawn, I think doing it with an op is probably ill-advised. You just don't have as much diversity to get yourself out of a situation. Also just didn't have the support he needed utility-wise to really hold that safely. So now it's going to be a 5-on-3 in favor of Checkmate. They're having to gamble a bit more, maybe even have to go for a long A push. And if they do, Bartek's waiting for that. Yeah, and that's an easy pickings for him. We'll be able to upgrade his rifle. Doesn't expect Excurate. Excurate might get a second even. Yep.
The bomb is still yet to be planted as well, by the way.
Yeah, and they get into lower tunnels. The problem is they don't know about Hastek's position coming through CT spot. Or do they? Expert's watching for it. There's a small chance for NKT here to maybe steal this, but it's still very unlikely. Although, Aztec is low on health, and if Xcrit catches on that, maybe that opens the door. But Aztec is playing pretty smart. Gets caught now, though. But the problem is Impression's so far out of position. They're just going to save these ops.
Yeah. Yeah, he's out of position, and they have no kit either. And 2 ops on a retake,
Right.
It's pretty grim.
Yes. B retakes are still very difficult, even with the door position being changed, which gives CTs a little bit more vision onto site to clear things a little bit more efficiently. It's still a very tough retake, and yeah, with ops, it's almost impossible. And oh, Excurate! Woo! Barely getting out of there. He's gonna get chased even. And Dust at the Excurate, bro. You gotta get out of there, man.
The second round in a row, he's like the bomb as well over on B. He must be hating it right now.
I don't understand why he's not further away. Like, once he gets that op pick on the Azteca in the middle, and you know you're not going for the retake, just get out of there. I don't know why he's still playing towards lower B tunnels at that point. Like, this is where he should have pulled the plug, is right there. He should have just got the op and saved it. I can't believe he put himself in position to die to the explosion.
Well, in comes the aggression from NKT. They know they need to make some adjustments, and this is the play. Urkas misses the shot. Uncharacteristically, he's been very good in these previous 2 maps, but Azteca has the right idea. Doesn't fully commit behind it, though.
Yeah, spotty senses were tingling for sure. They're going to take an open B-bomb site. Last misses a sitter there. Hits that one, though. And they'll be able to save the op again on Aircast.
Oh, could be a shank.
How many times have Impression get shot in the back? This has happened so many times. What is happening? Man, if I'm Impression, I'm literally doing a 180 every 2 seconds at this point. Ooh, that's a nice one.
Keeps that AWP alive a little bit longer, maybe peeking back in. And the economy, to be fair, over at Checkmate isn't fully established yet, so this still hurts them.
This half is still up for debate, put it that way, especially now that the CT should be able to say this op and should be able to get a full buy next round. In fact, Execute able to pick up an AK, so that's going to give them even more fluidity in how they can spin this next round. So yeah, it's very much up for grabs, but I do think it really just will boil down to if Checkmate can continue to expose middle or not, or if NKT can make some type of adjustment to either cover for that, you know, whether that be just fighting it up front, whether that be adjusting their B defense and not be as prone to losing players to that. You know, I'm not really sure what it is going to be, but something's got to give, and I think depending on how that plays out, it will determine how the half finishes.
Oh yeah, this is on a razor's edge now between these 2 teams. And obviously Checkmate playing for their very survival after losing the first map. Match pause has been put in. I believe this is a technical as opposed to a tactical.
Does seem that way.
So fingers crossed. I can hear typing as well in the background. Hopefully it is a small issue that gets remedied very quickly.
Yes.
But I mean, we had our doubts. We had our concerns about Checkmate after that nuke performance, and I'm delighted from a neutral's perspective here to see that they actually are having a real go of this. Yes, there've been a couple of issues. Yes, there's been a couple of problems over on their side getting the job done, but this is night and day from what we saw over on Nuke. And NKT, they've had their issues as well. I think it's safe to say, Dust. This mid control has been distinctly lacking. Their B side definitely has been weak, but curious if they've realized that now coming into the sort of second quarter of this game.
Yeah, this round's going to be big. You know, it's a chance for NKT to tie things up, keep that 2-0 dream very much alive, put the pressure on Checkmate. As again, you've kind of noted that the economy for Checkmate is not the healthiest. They've had to do a lot of rebuying in their own right, very low money on Bartak and Techno in particular. So without a bomb plant, and if they were to lose, they would have some tough decisions to make. Meanwhile, NKT do have plenty of money to full buy here around the op and AK that were saved over. You know what's wild? Is Excurate has not died yet. That's spicy. Didn't just noticed that. He's had a couple of saves, obviously, in some of these late round situations, but he's crushing it. And again, the only person who's really struggled here is Impression because he's got shot in the back probably 4 of his 6 deaths.
The other crazy thing as well, when you look at the kill spread between the two teams, over on NKT, that's what, 30 kills ish.
I don't know.
And whereas Checkmate, not even close to 30, you're looking at, that's 21 frags they have. So even though Checkmate are in the lead, it goes to show, as you just touched on, the fact that Excurate is yet to die, how good NKT have been in the rounds that first off that they've won, but also how quickly the decision has been made to go save the second they know the round is lost.
Well, you also have to note that I think 2 of the rounds that Checkmate have won is they all died, but there just wasn't enough time to defuse. That happened once in a B retake from NKT a few rounds ago, and then I believe that's what happened on Pistol as well, if I'm not mistaken. Or one of the early rounds, at least. So, yeah, definitely been some chances for NKT to actually be up at this point, maybe like 6-3, you know, if they would have had a little bit more time to defuse. So, with that said, we are going to take a short break, hopefully just a short one. Technical delay here. We'll be right back.
Forgetting who I was, or have to look back that far. And I don't want to forget who, get who. And are you just fucking around in my mind one last time? I'm gonna be real honest this time. I'm okay with it, I am more than fine. I'm gonna roll all less red dice now. Tell me I won't get out. Tell me I won't get out. Tell me I won't. Trap me inside your walls now.
Well, Dust's prayers have been answered. It was indeed a short break, and now we are ready to get back underway. 5-4 is where you left the score, and NKT now have themselves a bye alongside the saved up AK. As we were touching on before, Dust, this still, of course, anybody's map.
It is indeed. Situation where we're seeing some good fragging from NKT, but they just run out of time on a couple of diffuse situations, and so Checkmate will have the lead. Blitz and Azteca? Bro,
Oh, dear.
we didn't need to take that damage.
Yeah, and to make matters worse, they've completely lost the long element of this
good
push,
Lord.
and Blitz has been finished off by Urcast. The most one-sided round that we've really seen to date, and we were talking about those stats before. I actually got it wrong. It wasn't 30 frags. They were on 35 before they started this round, so goes to show how top-heavy the fragging has been, even though NKT do trail. Maybe there's a way back in, but down he goes.
Yeah, Checkmate before this round, we're at 19 total frags, I believe. So, yeah. Now at 20 with that frag from Cool Ass. So, yeah, definitely well behind in the fragging department, but have played a crafty game of CS to get themselves a lead, but now that might be gone here. It might be tied up in just a moment. And I'm gonna go ahead and just go out on a limb here, Vince, and say that strat was cheeks.
Yeah. You can see what they're going for, but it didn't work.
They were trying to beat a timing on the incendiary, which I respect. Blitz did get through it. But I mean, Azteca took so much damage running through that.
He did.
I mean, that was ill-advised.
That was like 2/3 of his HP, but I think that the real back-breaking moment is the fact that Zine single-handedly just sprayed down both the long players as well.
Yeah, that certainly added insult to injury. Coolass still getting a mid-pick here very quickly. Looked like Score was going for the pick there. Got caught. Op will be recycled by Aircast. But still man advantage for Checkmate in a round where they had a couple of players with little to work with. And now things get interesting for them. Good counter incendiary from Aircast to try to keep middle safe for a moment. Has another one now as well that he's picked up. But still, T's have a good chance here. It really just comes down to how well Zion can anchor long A again.
Yep, different angle this time, more situated towards ramp, and he has Excurate who can help him out if he's called upon. Flash out, Flash is going to yield the frag. Actually, as Excurate comes back in with his ult, but he's going to get caught out, does get 2 frags. Urkas now stuck on the site by himself. There's a lot of damage been done to these Ts, but Bartak's already moved up close, and Urkas was not expecting that, leaving Impression on a 1 and 2. He's at least in a close enough proximity to have a go at this one, but they are moving away. They're vacating the premises, and they're headed towards the B site.
I am surprised Aircast did not get more into safety. You had a 2-on-2. He knew that long A was still a threat, and he still kind of put himself out on the island there. I think that was a little bit of a mental mishap. As now Check, we have a chance to take the lead back here. Unless Impression can clutch it. 1v2 now. Both players are low on health. And he checks his corner. He has a 1v1 now, and the boss hasn't even made it into the site yet. And he gets it! What a play from Impression. He had a tough start to this game in Ferradas Fence, got backstabbed a few times in B, but comes up with a huge save there for his team.
Oh, huge save, but I think NKT are just taking a collective sigh of relief. I don't think they're exactly celebrating that win because it's so nearly capsized.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair assessment. But luckily for them now, they should get a bit of a freebie. It's a full save from Checkmate.
Yeah, full Glocks, not a single dollar invested into this. 0 for everybody. So, I mean, if NKT aren't winning this round and without any loss of life, then that in itself was a bit of a minor failure. They may get rushed down through middle, but Urkas tosses in the smoke. Doesn't have anyone there to actually help him out up close, so he needs to tread lightly. And he does keep himself alive.
Yeah, he smartly tucked back into CT spawn. Also a counter smoke that deterred them from making any more progress that direction, so... Well handled. Zine still patrolling long here. He has a smoke up. But now he's putting himself on an island by playing this corner. He could get traded. I mean, it's Glocks, but up close, they could still get this. I mean, never mind. Never mind. He's done him in.
Yeah, it's nice spray.
What was I thinking? Yeah.
Did die, though. So, I mean, at least it's one M4 that's forced to be rebought.
Yeah. Full buy now back from Checkmate, though it will not include an AWP on Coolast. I am impressed we haven't screwed up that name yet.
I'm pretty sure I must have at some point and just not realized, you know? Oh, unfortunate.
How's that missed?
Very unfortunate. Grenade does, as a parting gift, connect onto Blitz, and Excurate's still alive. He has died just the 1 time so far in this half. It could be second time if he's not careful because he's been forced away. But he's using those smokes as a safe passage back towards the site. And it looks like he will live for now.
Yeah, interesting. I thought he was donezo when he missed that first shot. But able to back up. He's got some support as well. They have catwalk control on the CT side thanks to Zion's positioning. Also, Eric, what is this position from? How did he get here? What?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Shooting fish in the barrel. He's got a smoke as well. Relocate. Second frag. He will go down, but the interference play is astonishing. Oh, okay.
Oh, no, Zion. Why? You had a 4-on-3 to stop this whole position. Now there's a chance for T's to get back into it. They still have pick control with Blitz. They're still out in middle. Xcrit trying to kind of keep tabs on it. They do still have impression in B site, so they have that covered. But they're very spread thin now. I think that push from Zion was maybe a little bit ill-advised. But if Xcrit gets his kill, no. How? He's missed a sitter there. Scoring a lot of trouble. Oh my God. NKT really dropped the ball in this round, Vince.
I mean, I don't know what Zion was thinking with that push. I'm so perplexed by it.
That was so bad. I mean, Aircast already got his 2 kills. He gives you man advantage. He disturbs the play, and then you just kind of push out and give that advantage right back up. It's like he was trying to end the round right there and then with the pinch play with the Aircast, but it just wasn't necessary. And Checkmate take advantage of the mistake.
I mean, there's a time and a place for aggression, and that just wasn't either. And I mean, as you say, because Urkas gets the frags, he also spilled the bomb down and saw all 3 of the remaining players. If they want to play aggressive, they can get like decent positions up through middle. They can even go lower tunnels, get catwalk control. You don't have to push right to their spawn.
Perfect point. Yeah, you keep man advantage and you take real estate off the map, but you don't have to just push into their hands and get them away back in the round. It's like you wanted to save Aircast, but that was a lost cause. So, tough one there. Checkmate will take the round. Money in a fragile state for NKT. I mean, it would be risky to buy up from this point. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Aircast is still here. He gets his kill, and Zion's not even halfway up cat when Aircast dies. I mean, you got to pull the plug on that play when Aircast goes down.
Precisely, and you can see the end result is the NKT, they could have forced behind the M4. They decided not to, so they can get really solid by in the last round of the half. But in terms of this round, it leaves them with only the lone assault rifle on the Hans impression, of course, who saved it in the previous round. So already, Checkmate have taken the B site. This is going to be a plant. And this is going to be a 7th round, barring something truly crazy or very, very poor. Good shot from Kulast, but he has to back away as he did actually take a dink, I believe, from the USP. Score, had a couple of chances, but doesn't capitalize on them.
Okay, basically it's just the pistols going forward, trying to see what they can do. Impression playing a little bit more safe, maybe save the M4. They're trying to kind of chase after Kulast's op. They're going to do a little bit of a run boost on him, it looks like. No, that's... But they...
You love to see it. A botch run boost still rips his head off.
That is the epitome of failing upwards.
Oh, Blitz is lucky though, because he ran out of ammunition for a moment, but it's still going to be the end result of 7-7.
All is well now. Tied up 7 apiece, very close half here. This round will determine who comes out the victor. Big save here from Blitz. Puts it into a spot where NKT going to be a little bit more strained to get an op on the field, but they still are able to get one for Xcrit. And again, think about it, Vince. If Zion doesn't make that push, they could be up right now 9-6 for the Hassover. And then they were also a couple of close to few situations away from even having a bigger score than that. They've had their chances to have a big lead here, Vince, but Checkmate have taken advantage of some of the mishaps and have put themselves neck and neck with their opponent.
Beautiful flick as well from Kulast onto Score, who tried to get aggressive out towards B.
Yeah.
Gets punished down. Forces a rotation as well from middle towards the B side. Now Urkast is going to correct that over-rotation, moves back into middle. We've seen these fights be a bit scrappy and back and forth. He is on 19-7, by the way. He has been having a crazy half.
Again, NKT, with their fragging, could very easily be up right now, maybe even double digits. As Aircast collects a 20th.
Oh, he's posting up close. The smoke is down. There should be a freebie. Oh, but he goes down to the hands, and there's another entry. That could have easily been another one in favor of NKT. Zion is still alive on the site. That molly won't be affecting him anytime soon. And he can sit behind these boxes. Bomb starts to get planted. There's one. Knows the player right around the corner and picks up the second. But he cannot stay alive for any longer. And Impression is already clutched another 1v1. He's surely done the second he comes around the corner. He's not expecting Bartak to be here. And it is all over for this half. Somehow Checkmate actually lead the half 8-7.
Yeah, again, you feel like NKT had their chances. Zyme blows kind of a 4-on-3 round a few rounds ago. A couple of situations where they just lost off the timer, where they could have, you know, won off the frags, but just did not have time to defuse. That was 2 rounds that happened that way. So those 3 rounds really were the difference maker, and Checkmate having the lead and NKT coming in with a better position in the second half. But we'll see how things play out in that second half after a short break.
Seems like I can't get away from the hot sun. Always night and never day. Even when I wash the floor, the dust still comes. Keep on hunting for the bread. No matter how lost, need no light, no spark. I'm in line up. With my eyes closed, I can see in the dark. I'm a quiet storm. Far from calm, I know you feel me, brother. Seems like I can't get away from the hot sun. Always night, it's never day. Even when I watch the floor.
We have a game on our hands, ladies and gentlemen. It is 8-7, and Checkmate took the lead going into the second half. Is their choice of map? And we had a couple of queries and question marks looming overhead after a very poor performance over on Nuke, but they've definitely answered those. NKT, though, have a chance to reignite this map and to take a lead, but they need to bypass this pistol first.
Yes, this is a very big round for both teams to establish themselves. Of course, Checkmate already in the lead, so this could just further that. Enter NKT to get right back into the mix here. Bartek, though, getting a chance headshot on Aircast through the smoke, and that's really going to slow this attack down. There's already a big flank coming in through T-spawn right now that's going to set up that long A play. So T's have to be very careful.
On the line here. 1-4 trade. Still will favor Checkmate, of course. Excurate has a good idea.
Just in time.
2 headshots back to back. Unbelievable pistol aim. They walked into him and he punished them. And our post plant, in effect, with NKT with a chance to pick up our second pistol. Zine stuck on the site, trying to bypass these two players, can hear the footsteps, and he puts 2 headshots down range of his own. An excellent comeback in the round, and we're tied up once again.
Dude, Excurate literally double back to long at the exact moment he needed to. If he had been just half a second later to that, it's probably Checkmate's round, because they were moving very swiftly through long, and he just got here in time as they were clearing the other corner, so they weren't looking his direction. That is such a crazy timing. Again, Counter-Strike a game of milliseconds. Excurate going for the scout play at middle, gets caught instead by Coolass's scout. Score gets hit, though, in the meantime. Coolass is just out here trying to get something done. A man on a mission.
Unconfirmed damage, but it won't really make a difference once their softened up targets start to push towards the site in the hands of these pistols and MP9s. He gets scrappy really quick.
Yep, absolutely. Very dangerous situation for NKT with, 2 players bleeding out like this, and Bartek having that MP9 on the site. Like you said, now the pistols can essentially one-tap these players with body shots. So this is a tricky one. The only thing on their side is that they're about to attack A, where there's really no hope at a rotation for Checkmate. They're 3 stacking B. No one's even in middle yet or near CT spawn, so it all comes down to these 2 players on A site.
Flashbang primed, ready for action, as are the rest of NKT. The button has been pushed, the pedal down to the ground, and out will go Bartak. Mac 10 to the dome, Blitz is standing his ground though and delivering. Needs to reload, losing HP, relocates, puts another body on the ground. 30 seconds, another flashbang is good, and Urcast is finally getting himself into the thick of it. Double spray down in effect, and now the last player standing also over in Urcast's domain, which will be Coolass with that aforementioned scout. And this is where that unconfirmed damage really does sting. If he only knew that Score was a bullet away from death and Urcast is in that scout shot range, he may very well go in for this, but he doesn't, and therefore he backs away. NKT have passed this round additionally. They will still have to deal with the scout in the next round, but they will regain the lead.
Honestly, Aircast kind of saved the day there for NKT because, again, Checkmate did a lot of early damage thanks to Coolass's scout. Their Deagle player on A ramp was actually getting some kills, which was giving them time to come off of that 3-man B stack and actually start getting into positions to maybe make that retake a threat. But Aircast 2 kills on Catwalk changed everything. It saved the day. Zon able to get out as well, get kind of a late kill up long A, and they wound up winning this round with 3 players still alive. So they can keep 5 rifles in play, essentially. Again, this gets scary. Look at this. Look at how weak they are. Look at these kills that Blitz is getting with the Deagle. He gets it back into man advantage situation there for a brief moment. So yeah, Aircast 2 kills on Cat really did save things. But now they win that round, and they have a chance to win this one clean and wind up with a 2-round lead and a healthy economy.
No doubt, but they still have to deal with this scout. And we've already seen that Coolass can put bullets into those center mass positions, but he is caught and he is fragged as a result, and that really feels like it's the last lifeline in round 18 that goes with him. USPs connecting headshots, do best Urcast, but can't really get carried away with that because we know it's going to be answered. And with Zine waiting and anticipating a push through the smoke, Techno's life was always going to be deemed forfeit. 10-8 is the score.
Yeah, it was just a good use of Molotovs there as well from NKT to clear out that quad box position as well as kind of hold off the catwalk swing so they could safely assess that smoke on the cross. So just really textbook Counter-Strike there from NKT. But now it's the full buy from Checkmate. It includes double op. And if they win this, they're right back in the mix, Vince. If they lose, though, it's likely 12-8 for NKT, and they're going to start building up a nice little lead. This is a big potential swing round.
Oh, this is huge. This I wouldn't say it's necessarily like the curtain down if they do concede this, but it definitely puts them a giant step towards a loss and elimination. There's no doubt about that at all. And Aztec, oh, this is so brave. Knowing that he could be peaked at any second from mid, he is still hanging around middle. He is still in this position, and he gets away with it as well.
Yeah, this is Gonna be interesting. Again, kind of a stack towards B for the CT side. NKT playing very passive, knowing the weight of this round. They are going to flash push Aircast to clear and threaten mid B with the smoke on CT spawn. Molly's off the boost position as well. That's a big miss from Azteca.
Oh, this is all a ruse as well because the bomb is about to transfer through long.
Mm-hmm. Bartek, though, has a great position.
Oh, dear.
My God.
He's got to get at least one there, surely.
Oh, yeah. The cool last now in a lot of trouble. He's going to have to face cat cross and long pressure. It's a nice shot, though. 2 nice shots, but quickly traded back into a 2-on-2 for the T side, but they got to be careful.
Oh, he's walked out prematurely. There's 13 seconds left, and Blitz is still here. Extra nades going across. The spray's in good for one, but Excurate comes back, and with 8 seconds on the clock, NKT get it done again.
And the CT economy is just not quite there. They have to go for the deco here. And so NKT can rebuy up, be fully decked out, very likely push this to 12-8. There was some chances there for Checkmate for sure. Got it into a crafty little 2-on-2 with little time left on the clock, but ultimately NKT do come out on top. It was a labored victory, don't get me wrong, but one nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, that's the key aspect of this point in the game. It doesn't matter how you get across the finish line for a W, they all count an equal amount. And so NKT, yeah, a couple plays getting down low, but when you have Zine at 9,000, sure, he still needs to rebuy. Excurates are on $8,000. They're good to go for the next couple of rounds, in all honesty. So Checkmate, they're in real trouble now. We did discuss this before the round got started. They're going to decide to push up middle. Aztec has had a rough game so far with just 4 frags and 40 ADR. The smoke is down. It is capable of actually yielding frags, but now Techno comes back in with a P250. 4 frags have gone down. They're being engaged upon on multiple angles, and Urcast gets picked off through the smoke with some wacky half-buy and a push. Checkmate have got the round and made it theirs.
Yeah, that is something you just cannot allow to happen. If you're NKT, they have slipped up so many times on this map. Like, you've got to be clearing this out. You've got to be more careful. It's just mind-blowing to me. And now they're the ones on the back foot economically. There is enough money for Zine to get a buy if you wanted to, alongside this op that Excurate's purchased. And, I mean, honestly, there's enough money for all of them to buy here, really, if they really wanted to go for it. But you can kind of see that there's some hesitancy there as a deal got bought up by Aircast. Match has been paused again. Not sure what for. Seems technical. No one took attack.
Yeah, it's probably someone's PC getting thrown out the window on NKT, I'd imagine. Just like, what was that, guys? Come on. I mean, even within the context of the entire game, that could be the moment where Checkmate come back into this map and potentially even win this best of 3 and eliminate NKT. Like, that is the severity of how much they just dropped the ball there.
Yeah, that is. I think they would call that a blunder, I believe, is the terminology often used in those situations.
Yeah, we'll go with that one, because the only words I can think of aren't safe for stream.
Go ahead. Let it loose. The mountaintops.
Definitely not. Go ahead. Get yourself fired.
I mean, there's only 2 days left anyway after this, so you're not losing too much. We've already got through, what, like 6 of the 8 days we were hired for. So, I mean, that was a pretty good run.
Apparently the
Won
issue...
a couple more day rates, though. Huh? What's up?
Apparently the issue is lag. That's what we're waiting for right now. That's what we've been informed.
Love to see that.
Which is kind of a vague term, which gets me a little bit nervous, because that could mean like internet issues or perhaps PC problems. Like, it's pretty wide umbrella that could fall underneath, but hopefully it does get resolved shortly. We've already had one tech issue this game, of course.
That is true.
Do you reckon they buy behind this? I mean, we've already seen Urkas go for a Deagle. Obviously, Extra's got his AWP. Do you think everyone's going all in here for NKT?
I mean, they certainly have enough money for like AK armor on impression and score. Zion has plenty of money. It does seem like that would be the play, honestly. Especially if they can reset Checkmate with a victory, because they're sitting low on money on 3 of their players. So, I mean, if you're already going to go for this op on X-Crit, you might as well surround it. Especially because Aircast has already bought Deagle head armor and smoke. I feel like if they weren't going to do much, then he wouldn't have bought what he did. And yeah, now it's just AK from score. So yeah, I'm sure Zion and Impression are going to be soon to follow here with their own rifles.
I mean, honestly, if I'm Urcast, you know, you're IGLing, you're fragging, you're actually top fragging on your team.
Give me that AK.
Exactly.
Give me that AK. You messes.
You know, the general
I'm not
speaking
opposed to
down
that.
to the peons. Just give me that rifle. Let me go frag.
Hey, score. Give me that.
All right. Well, unfortunately, ladies and gents, we are going to be cutting to a break. Hopefully, this will be fixed soon and we can finish off our Dust2. Stay with us and we'll be right back, hopefully.
This world is slowing down. How can I fight it? How can I listen when there's no sound? Oh, the wolves are out. Yes, the wolves are out.
chance to build a home. I feel this world coming over me. The pressure makes me fall. And if I stay locked in the half-life, but choose to give.
We are back, but unfortunately, we're still on a pause. Apparently, no, there we go. There we go. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed the transition there. Buy time is coming and going. We had some questions to us before that pause. If we'd see a buy, you nailed it. You said they should. They have. And Impression will be using the Deagle, and Urcast does have the Galils. They have traded those weapons across to each other.
Impression being an absolute Chad. Sacrificing himself for the cause. Oh, that was close.
That grenade's got money. That grenade is money. They stayed in long and they get shredded by it. And in comes Bartak. Double spray, double headshot.
That's big. And now he might be going for more. Pushes through the smoke. Impression able to collect that one, though. Able to toss that AK back. Trying to find the other one. Does find it. So now they have a 3-on-4 and they all have weapons. Azteca, though, playing this aggressive angle at Catwalk with the op could be a problem. Or it could be an opening if he misses, but nah. Nails that one. Gets the advantage even further ahead now for Checkmate.
Not really sure what NKT can feasibly get going here. Probably trying to fake out like they're rotating to the side of the map, but Kulas is watching the cross.
Yeah, I mean, they're in a lot of trouble. Unless they flash push Azteca off this corner. Well, it doesn't even matter. They do flash it, but he hits a shot anyway. So NKT, that buy fails, and now Checkmate should tie this thing up 11-all. They have to save now on the NKT side.
I mean, it's well played by Bartak, but they really couldn't have lined up any better for him there.
Yeah. They were just checking the pit side, and he just happens to come out blue bin right at the right moment.
Full save. Not a single cent has been used or put into any kind of weaponry. Design thinks about peeking out, trying to draw away some grenades perhaps from the CTs. Cast has already pushed down middle, just checking underneath the Xbox. That would have been a free frag had there been a CT occupying that position, but there wasn't. And meanwhile, the scoped weapons are having a look. There's 3 out of 5 SG and 2 AWPs. Kulas taking damage, but just 10. Nothing significant whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, this round's a formality.
Only a low player is Bartak, and he's not going to get pushed into. Techno, however, will. They line up for him, and the SG mows them down. 11, but another bike is coming back in, but at least Checkmate have equalized the odds.
Here we go. Big moment for both these teams. Who can take the lead right back? Would be huge for Checkmate if they could, because they have the economic superiority. They could force another save out of NKT, and that would put them up 13-11. Azteca playing the aggressive side, spots his player completely off guard. Everyone else was in B tunnels. That is very odd to just have 4 players in B tunnels like that and not have any coverage at middle, and that cost them dearly. I feel like some of NKT's decision-making has been rather grim.
Yeah, and I think we're also seeing a component that we were talking about before. With the middle being changed, it does allow the CTs a little bit more safe passage to peek through middle to get these more audacious peeks, and it facilitates these picks that we've seen. But I absolutely agree with you. I think NKT have been off the boil. That flash does absolutely nothing. Didn't affect him
Yeah.
whatsoever.
No. NKT getting picked apart here. They do get a lot of damage on Techno, and now Score makes a big play out middle, threatening this mid B split. He's got to be careful, though. He has no smoke for CT spawn. They got to work this timing out. They get to pick under window. There's one CT left, though, at Car. They need to clear him out, and they have to worry about the CT spawn rotation. And Blitz is holding his ground here, but only good for the one, so it's a 2-on-2 post plant potentially, but this B-Tunnel's flank is so fast. Will they expect it this quickly?
No. Now they've seen Bartak and they take him down as well. Excurate takes a little bit of damage. Down to 24, he plummets, but Kulast will have the element of surprise and not much else. And if he peeks, he will find Excurate in no man's land. One plays one, flashbang, out and over, barely affects Score, still has his crosshair, trained towards the tunnels, spray takes Kulast down to 32 and finishes him off with only a bullet left in the chamber. It will be NKT taking the lead again.
A labored victory, but one nonetheless. Excurate's op shot on that B-Tunnel's flank. Ah, man. It must have been so rapid from his perspective because the timing of that flank did look pristine, but Excurate's reaction was equally impressive. Score obviously played a big role in the round, able to get that window kill, able to win the 1v1 in the end as well to close out the round. There is still a lot of money left, though, for the CT side to get a full buy, and you could see NKT are going to struggle. They're going to have the op still for Excurate. They have enough money for Score to AK up again. Same for Impression, but Aircast and Zine are in kind of a tough spot. You know, to get AK and armor, they would have to have some players kind of drop them some utility to be able to still, you know, be in good standing coming into this round. So they may have won that, but it still put them in a tough spot economically.
Well, it has. There's no two ways about it here.
They're going for the strong long.
Initial flashes are good, but they've had a lot of casualties and a lot of bad times pushing this long side. It hasn't worked for them. 1 for 1, but that quickly turns in favor of Checkmate. I'm not sure about these plays. Every time they've gone long, they've been absolutely battered.
I don't get why they're forcing these plays. I really don't. It just seems so ill-advised and unnecessary. As Tekken now taking control of B tunnels. Man advantage here for the CT side. They might line up for him here. 2 for 1. Not quite. He still gets his pick, though. Gets a 4-2 and gets away. And now the economy is going to get reset for NKT. Checkmate's going to tie up the game 12-12. And very likely will be up 13-12 as NKT will not have much money unless they can somehow fight back 2v4. They do temporarily have a 2-on-2 at the B site side of the map. They may elect to go middle, which will throw more factors into the equation.
That smoke is more for an explosive element. You can smoke there, flash out, and quickly explode out onto the site, but it's all a fake because now they're moving across towards the A side, but they have to deal with Blitz. He's got an AWP. He's watching this position, and there is a smoke down on the catwalk. So you'd think that Blitz will hit one of these two shots, and that's all he has to do. Even if he gets traded straight away afterwards, that still gives his team a huge advantage here. 20 seconds, no further time. There are flashes. Allocated.
What are they
still
doing?
hits the shot onto Score. What a shot that was. But now Excurate, I mean, he's got such a little opportunity to get this one done. And to make matters worse, he's been flashed off and he has players behind him. He's going to try and force the frag, but he may die after time, which would be even more brutal. And down he goes. 1,300 left.
Welp. Checkmate should be taking the lead now, 13-12. And NKT need to reassess their attacking game plan. They have just been trying to force things that have just not panned out even remotely. They're kind of beating themselves in a way, though certainly Checkmate have played well.
Yeah, I mean, you call into question some of these T-round decision-making and calls from NKT probably 2 or 3 rounds ago, and it hasn't got much better since then, really, has it?
No, there's been a lot of weird ones. Like, I feel like they could just slow down, play a bit more default, and just not hedge their bets so early. I know that you want to play spawn-based timings. The map is kind of known for that. But when you're in a low economic position and you're behind, it just seems way less attractive to try to play that way. They're going to go for a double run boost off Cat, and they're probably going to get a bomb plant here.
Hold on.
I mean, they're going to get a bomb plant, but I don't see a victory happening.
They've got an M4 now as well, and they've got CT. If Score can get this frag, which he has.
Okay.
This is not
Now
doable.
I'm interested.
Flashbang over. Bartak gets one. They still need to deal with the CT presence, though. Bartak with a second. That should be the round done now. And indeed it is. But the fact they got 2 frags and a bomb plant with just Glocks is kind of outrageous.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, the bomb plant seemed the most assured because of the way that Checkmate were positioned. That they probably could just bulldoze their way in for a plant for Cat. But yeah, winning the round would have been absurd. But Score, you know, made it a little bit spicy with this kill in CT spawn, but not enough to pose a real threat. Now double op and play for Checkmate. They're a round up. NKT need to win this round. If they lose this, it's likely map for Checkmate, and we're going to a third. Just because their economy would be in tatters, and Checkmate would be approaching map point. So it's kind of do or die right now for NKT to keep the 2-0 dream alive.
Yeah, from what we've seen on this T side, please excuse my pessimism here, but I'm not really a believer right now, to be completely
It
honest.
has not inspired confidence. Yeah. It's a fair assessment of the situation for sure. They have slowed down a lot this round, though. They're being a little bit more cautious. They're trying to counter any aggression the CTs might throw at them, but so far, Checkmate pretty reserved. Utility being exchanged, but no real damage being dealt. But also, NKT aren't really taking any map control. They haven't really threatened Catwalk yet. They haven't really threatened anything. They are just way back on the map. And while I think that some of their aggression was a little bit questionable, I think that playing this far back is also equally a head-scratcher.
To be fair to Checkmate, though, they have done a really good job of marshalling the CT side as well. Always 2 sides to every story, of course. Yes, NKT have been a bit lackluster, but Checkmate certainly have upped their game. And now, because they have been a bit more passive, they have all 5 players left and a ton of utility for this engage.
Yeah, counter incendiary, though, goes on Catwalk, and they're running out of time. They're back down to 30 seconds. Another incendiary will come on Catwalk, so now they may have to force themselves through that. And that's the problem with playing so far back. You're not threatening anything, so you're not burning any CT utility. And so when you come to this late round situation, you're down to the wire.
17 seconds, guys. Someone's got to do something. You've got to start pushing. You need those entries as fast as possible. You've lost the first player, but Oppression round the back has got himself one more. Exploding into the round. 8 seconds to go. And Bartak finishes off what he started. Frags across the board. And NKT are looking toothless on this T-half.
It just looks pitiful, man. Like, what are you doing? They literally did not approach anything until 50 seconds left on the clock. They basically wasted away 40 seconds. They didn't draw out any CT utility. So then they just go on the Catwalk. They get counter incendiary twice. So now they're less than 30 seconds left when they actually go for the execute. And yeah, they just basically would have lost off the clock even if they wouldn't have got fragged. I mean, their T side has been abysmal. And again, Checkmate are playing exactly how they should. They're stuffing. They're playing smart. They're not over-aggressing. They're holding on to their utility because they know that they can, and they're using it at just the right time to put NKT into a tight spot. And, I mean, they're all fragging pretty well. I mean, 4 of their players are within 3 frags of each other. It's really only Azteca that's a little bit out of the pack, but still doing fine for the most part, especially in comparison to some of the opposition. And so, again, I don't mean to, like, take away from Checkmate's performance. They're doing exactly what they should be. It is, though, it's just how many rounds NKT have coughed up off their own decision-making has been quite grim.
Well, they may be down. They're not out just yet. It has looked incredibly lackluster at times, but they're still only 2 rounds behind. And if they can string a little bit of form together, maybe they can make that last surge, that second win towards the finish line. The timing, the flash is very good. Blitz's spring right down the middle, gets one, but traded out straight away. Techno is here, though, smoked off will be turning his attention towards the window area where Impression is waiting with a Tech 9. Bomb has been tossed across to him, and although some shrapnel damage does come to fruition, he's still able to get the plant into effect. There's no incendiaries left, and even though it is a 3-on-4, with a lack of utility for this retake other than flashes and smokes, this is still doable. Yes, there's only 1 AK for Urkas, but he's got 25 frags to his name. You can't fully write him off from this position. However, multiple players coming in, 1-for-1 trade, probably not good enough. Now they need one of these pistols to go above and beyond, to just pull out a masterful clutch position. They line up for the deagle, and they're being put down where they stand. And now the Tech 9 is all that remains. An Impression needs to try and whittle away this time, loses his life. Has he done enough? I think he may very well have done so. It's going to be incredibly close, but this bomb will be exploding any second now. And with a millisecond left, the bomb will detonate, and NKT somehow, someway explode onto the site, and they get success.
That is a big time win to keep them in contention. I thought this map was pretty much written off and Inferno was right around the corner. But with that victory and now a full buy coming up, there is a chance for them to tie this thing back up and challenge. Now, still plenty of money for Checkmate. They keep the double op in play. But if they were to lose this round, Vince, they would maybe have to save, or they would have to force buy. And X-Crit's already hit the opening option. And they're going to catch the long egg. What's happening this game? What is this map? What? Just when I lost faith in NKT, I can't quit them now. Asian CS. I was warned. I was warned by our other commentators who were graciously covering the first couple of days, and Pilsky and Elfish Guy. Shout out to them. Now I realize, bleh, he makes so much more sense to me now.
Beat down by years of observing the gloriousness.
That poor lad. I get it now.
Flashes out to long. Round's not done just yet. Keep in mind, NKT just pulled a rabbit out the hat in the previous round, and maybe it's the time of Checkmate to make all these T's disappear. That incendiary will be forcing away a slightly different angle. Bartak's going to be burning alive. He needs to time this peak. Oh my god. That was difficult to watch. And now Kulast, he's got an AWP on the cross. He can probably get this first shot off, but they're doing their due diligence. They know who's up against them. They know he has the sniper. Do not give him any opportunities to shine with the gun. Shut him down, get the plant down, and that is going to be 14-14. And yes, Kulast has to go save this weapon, otherwise they're in real trouble.
Their money is so grim. They even with him saving this op, I mean, it's going to be 14 all. They have a tough choice to make, because you either force around this op, which puts you at a disadvantage firepower-wise, which gives NKT a better chance to push it to map point in their own right, and then you're playing for OT with a full buy. Or excuse me, you wouldn't have enough money. Or you could save maybe a pistol or two around the op. You kind of concede map point and series point in a way, but at least then you're able to full buy and really contest. So it's either going to be like 2 crap buys or 1 really good buy. And do you want to play for the OT or do you want to go for the dub? I mean, Blitz has good money. Oh, I didn't realize Cold Ass had that much money. Okay, never mind. It's not as bad as I thought, but it does mean that 2 players are a little bit without.
Yeah, that's the importance of him saving that AWP, isn't it? Things have been very different, and although the first pick went the way of NKT in the previous round down middle with the AWP, will not be a return on it this time.
Right. This is do or die, though, for Checkmate. If they were to lose this, they would have virtually nothing going into what could be the final round of regulation. So this is still kind of a must-win for Checkmate. NKT kind of in a similar boat. They wouldn't have much money to spend either if they lose here. So this round really kind of sets up a team that have a huge edge to get 16-14 victory rather than having to play an OT. So we shall see. Azteca holding a good angle. Catwalk aggression as well. Oh. I mean.
Doesn't get much closer than that.
Yeah, that was a nail biter. Again, I'm concerned about the clock.
That's a fair concern to have. We've already seen NKT run out of time multiple occasions here on Dust2, and Nuke could have been the same. They executed a lot with 10-15 seconds, just their entries were on point for the most part.
Yeah, this is going to come down to the wire yet again.
And
will they clear Bartek off of Goose? I mean, that's the real question.
That's the problem. When you have such low time, there's a couple angles may go unchecked, and the Impression's about to get wide swung. I cannot believe he's managed to get that frag. He will be put down afterwards. Now Kulas on the site, and Bartak decides to actually push out, and they're actually repelling this push. 12 seconds left. NKT gets sprayed down again, and now it's the turn of Checkmate to have a map point.
These catwalk attacks have been so bad from NKT. Again, they're wasting so much clock doing nothing. They're getting no map control. Yeah, Impression gets a bit of a lurk out middle, gets a kill towards B, kind of causes a disturbance. But that doesn't really matter much if you're not able to actually get out onto the site. And they have not been able to do that at the A side of the map at all. It just, I don't know what it is, man. They're just not burning CT utility. They're not taking early map control. They're not really forcing any rotations. They're kind of just waiting until 30 seconds and then trying to explode, and they're just not getting the impact that they want out of their utility. It looks so different from what we saw on Nuke, where they just look so calculated on their upper side executes. And a very grim buy in the final round of regulation coming up here for NKT. Definitely advantage for Checkmate to win this map at this point, but OT still could be around the corner if NKT could somehow get something going this round. They have won a round with far less than this. I believe that was a B rush play that they were able to get going. It looks like they're going to try to go for it again here, Vince.
And it would just be one play they're up against. It would be Techno. Azteca's made moves into lower tunnels. So there would be a fast flank into a position, but the hope's not really the weapon you want for this. However, he's creeping his way up that lower tunnel area. He could maybe fend off one of these players. Out comes Zion by himself, and Azteca has gone in for the frag. However, B site now gets plundered. Impression is low. They should be able to force the plant down. It's going to be Impression to go ahead and put that one into position. The bomb's planted for tunnels. The actual fast play comes in for Azteca. Why would you peek that?
Yeah, I don't know. Big B tunnel focus retake here. Impression low on health. Teams have to respect the other angles. They can't put all their focus on tunnels.
Execrate's about to peek around the corner. There's one and a second as well. Execrate goes down. It's going to be so close, and Impression puts the bullets down range. We go to OT.
But our spirits never die. Whoa. Faded as we push through the darkest times, I'll be there by your side. We arise when everything's breaking. Our souls spirits never die. Whoa. Fighting as we push through the darkest times. I'll be there by your side. We rise when everything's breaking. Our souls will awaken. Our spirits never die.
Elimination beckons for one of these two teams, and it's a lot closer for Checkmate than it is NKT. However, the T side had quite a few grim moments, I think it's safe to say, Dust, and
Yeah.
we're going to have to see if they can actually just pull this one out.
I think that NKT's CT side was more impressive than Checkmate's. I just think that the T side has been so grim for NKT, but that's a great entry for impression. If you can get a second, that'd be even better, but no. It's back to Doom. Azteca pushes all the way up middle with an op. Oh my god. Please. I'm out.
Why all 5 players just watching long?
I don't know. I don't know. There has not been one moment I haven't been scratching my head about the decisions of NKT on this T side Dust2. Other than their eco rounds, which they won. Or 4 spies, rather. Not pure ecos. Zion might get a kill, but that's going to be it. Not even get that. I mean, I don't. That's probably the 3rd time they haven't watched middle and got busted for it.
It's honestly NKT. Maybe just rush B every round.
I don't know. I don't understand how this team is the same team I watched that had all these well-orchestrated hits on Nuke, which is a way more technical map, but then they can't like run a basic T side properly on Dust2. Probably the easiest map in the game to run a T side on. At least the bare basics of it. Please don't tell.
Okay.
Thank God. I mean, if that would have worked, I would have truly lost my sanity.
And it's an odd decision from Azteca though, because he's ran straight up mid by himself, and this time there was no long presence from his teammates, so it just feels like a gimme. And there's a second one. This time the B player's gone down.
Okay. 5-on-3 here for NKT. They're going to take B for free in a second by impression, so they'll know it's open. And they can transition the bomb over accordingly. They still control B tunnels. They don't have to commit, though. They still have a lot of time, and, I mean, impressions... I mean, they win this round, surely. Surely.
Does feel like it was more of a mistake from Checkmate, really, though, than NKT necessarily going for a great play. Nice pre-fire from Score. Will be rewarded with the kill onto Kulast, and Bartak can just pull back and save this AK for the next round. One more of OT to play on this half, and he's walking into the line instead of Excurate, who puts him down where he stands. So NKT have picked up the T round, and it feels like the T rounds here are going to be worth their weight in gold in this OT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, CT side was a stronger side for both these teams, only slightly. But again, I do feel like I was more impressed with how NKT played out their CT side as opposed to Checkmate. Granted, Checkmate didn't have to try very hard because NKT were just blowing it relentlessly on their T side with their timings and just overall sloppiness. So we'll see. Extra misses a chance there to pick. Almost hits that one. Not quite, though.
Right idea from Score, just slightly off on the timing. A slower round again from NKT. Now, have they learned from their mistakes of the past where they waited way too much time and gave up too much of the map?
Yeah. Ooh, Aircast spots this mid player. There's also cat aggression, though. Good flash. Pushes Azteca off. Gets them cat control now as well, thanks to Aircast, who's taking point on the stairwell. This is better. They're taking map control a lot quicker, but they need to burn some of the CT utility out, and they need to be a little bit more efficient on their spacing and trading. Otherwise, Checkmate can continue to put out that solid defense. Oh, they cross without Blitz noticing it. This is looking good.
And it's mainly off the back of them just changing up the pace slightly and tweaking it. And this is an excellent little adjustment from NKT.
Where was this in regulation?
Right. Exactly.
This looked way cleaner, way more tempo, but not a risky version. 'Cause it's not like they didn't try to go fast. They did. It was always these weird pushes out of long through smokes. That round is like a perfectly timed catwalk cross. So yeah, I mean they've made the adjustment well before the OT.
Yeah, it just seems like maybe that's what they were discussing in the halftime break, you know, after OT had been locked in. You know, what can we change? Where do we need to make those small adaptations? We have had a player, unfortunately, drop out from the server, so I'm assuming we're going to be paused for a little bit. Hopefully it's not another lag problem. We've had a few of them already. But yeah, that was a fantastic T round to just cordon this one off. And now they're 2 rounds away from eliminating Checkmate.
Yes, they are. And again, their CT side was pretty stout. Like, even though they lost that, I believe 7-8, there was definitely a lot of chances for them to, like, they lost twice off of not having enough time to defuse. And then they had a couple of rounds where they just kind of got shot in the back on some of the mid pushes. They just weren't anticipating it, and Impression kind of got caught for free. But once they made adjustments, they got to a point where they almost could have won that half like 9-6 or something like that. So just had a lot of close calls. So definitely we know that their CT side is up to snuff. They're going to go double op. I know this can't be right, but apparently Excret has cloned himself, and he's there twice. Okay, that's fixed now. Now it's score. that would have been interesting. Like, hello, 2 Excrets.
They wish they could have 2 of them. He's on 31 frags. He's having a good game, man.
Mine as well.
So double
I don't know
ups.
what the rule would be on that. Not sure there was ever a rule written for clones. I guess if you have like a 6-man rotating roster, technically, go for it.
Can they do it, Dust? Can NKT bring it home to the flash frag from Excurate? That is a huge start, and that puts Checkmate away from long instantly.
Yep. And now they're having to waste utility just to clear off those close corners and kind of push NKT back. Now, Cat is being left a bit exposed, but now Excurate is able to get Zine into pit and now focus his hop on that Cat cross. He could obviously get flashed off the corner, but, I mean, they just dry walk out. Easy pickings. Thank you very much, says Excurate. I will take those.
And this funnels back into what you were talking about before. The NKT CT side was looking really good until the end, and they let a couple slip.
The only real struggle they had was early in the half where they were just getting exposed in middle. But you can see that they made adjustments later in the half, and they obviously have it covered here in this OT. Triple B play, they have a 5-on-3 ahead of them. And Impression's doing a nice job of kind of jiggle peeking this corner.
Flash is good, but so is the return frag. Azteca puts it in. And they don't check the scaffolding. Another 1-for-1 trade, but this puts more pressure on score. He passes with flying colors for the first frag. Gets traded out himself, though. And this round still isn't over just yet. 2v1. Post plant in, and there are AKs around. Should Azteca want to pick one of them up for that automatic spray? Decides better of it. He's keeping the AWP. He's riding until he dies with this weapon, and he's also funneling away from the tunnels. Now, both the CTs are moving together through the double doors, and this is definitely a possibility now that he can get one of these picks and stay alive for a little bit longer. They have flashes, they have incendiaries, they forced him away. Has a smoke for it, but there's the peek from Excurate. Has he done enough, though? It's going to be really close in this defuse. He may have bought up enough time, down to the last few milliseconds, but it is going to be a successful defuse for NKT. And now they have 2 match points.
Yeah, they did a good job of clearing the site together and then kind of isolated, knowing that he had to have been B tunnels. And they put the incendiary down and eventually put him in danger and finish him off. Close on the timing, but get it done. Now they are at map and series points. They will have 2 chances to do this in this OT. If Checkmate can 2-0 out, though, from this point, we would see a second overtime. NKT have at least ensured that with that victory.
If it was tense before, dialed up to 11 now. Hasteka, who had a very slow start, really has picked things up, but mainly with a secondary orb. This time he's got the AK in his hands.
And again, this is important because, you know, if you lose here and you get eliminated, you get nothing from this tournament. Not a thing. Neither team could qualify for the major regardless coming into the event, but at least securing a third place would get you some prize money and some ESL Pro Tour points for the long term. So definitely could come out empty-handed here if you're Checkmate, if you can't figure out a way to keep this one going. B tunnel's being taken by NKT, gives them a quick flank and rotation option. They still have the op watching the cat cross, and they still have long control as an anchoring point if they need to play retake, which they probably will at this point. This is smart from X-Crit to back off.
Yeah, 100%. Molly down also onto short plant, stops them from planting a few seconds longer, actually forces a smoke out, so now they have 2 smokes left. And Bartak, importantly, passes that frag. Let's take a lot of damage, gets finished off. Urcast with the opportunistic movement, takes down another one, but the trades back and forth evenly spread. Still 6 players left, but it's split down the middle. Zine still up close, still has the ability to rip this round away, and no one is watching from the ramp. Sprays in, it's labored though, and so he will be punished by Blitz, who's now stuck on the side by himself. Needs to try and stay alive for his teammate, but down he will fall. Techno trying to hold on with the AK, good spray, and Excurate down on 13 HP. Doesn't have the time, doesn't have the health, and they will save 1 out of 2 match points. Still 1 more to go, however.
Yeah, could force second overtime if they could find victory here. That was a very labored win, but they did get it done. As it was a situation when they pushed off and forced the retake. This trade from Blitz, you feel, is what really dictated the round. If Zion gets a double kill there, you probably fancy NKT's chances. They would have just had so many bodies to throw at that final player on Catwalk. And look at the repercussions. Actually has to go Deagle. MP9, MP9. They're getting aggressive in lower tunnels to try to change things up, but that's a great flash. But still, Ericus gets the kill. Can't get away, though.
Probably not worth, because that's the only rifle that's now been taken down.
Yeah. Their op is still up, and they do have a couple of MP9s on the field. They did take some long control with Zine. I am shocked Excurate only is allowed a Deagle in this round. I guess Score had the better spawn for the cat aggression with the op, but now it gets flashed off. Needs to get out of there, able to do so.
Hero play is required, and maybe Excurate is the man for the job. 34 frags, just shy of 100 ADR. Oh, this smoke's not going to cover the entire approach. They line up for him, but he whips both players. MP9 sprays through, only good for 1. And although the bomb has been dropped down, it's easily retrieved. And Excurate will be thinking, what if? What if he threaded a couple of frags there? That could have been everything, Dust. That could have been the map over with.
Yeah. There's a couple of low T's. Never mind. About to say there was a couple of low T's here that maybe they could have broken through still, but now it's Score alone. Yeah, I can't really understand why they put Excurate on a Deagle there. But anyway, we'll take a short break. When we come back, second OT around the corner.
We are back already because we just want to get right back into the action, and unfortunately we have missed a frag, but it's okay because NKT have a couple players low and Checkmate are absolutely still into this one. Again, similar situation as before, elimination beckons, And NKT typically have had better CT sides, but we did see a couple of weaknesses in those last couple of rounds. And now Checkmate congregating on towards the catwalk area, already taking up a little bit of control. Good flick from Excurate as he falls off. 35 frag is dialed in, and it could be more, and it will be more. Another great flick across. They're hemorrhaging utility, can't really afford to fully flash across, and Excurate goes from strength to strength. It's yet another frag in his hands. 3 already. Could be 4, and it will be. What a round from Excurate.
Yeah, they really didn't do a whole lot to make that round difficult for Excurate. They would have basically just get a bunch of 1v1s on that cross. They never flashed him off the corner. They never kind of scared him into retreat at long. He's able just to kind of sit here. Just none of their flashes were effective. And just hit some brilliant shots, if we're honest. Really good reactions, really good accuracy. Well done. Big opening round from NKT. B-Rush might be the counter. Counter incendiary, though, going to slow it down. Nice nade comes in. Oh, my God, they're getting chunked. Oh, my God, they're getting chunked.
So much damage. That's going to be it for this round, surely. Incendiary will finish off Coolast. He's on 23 HP. No, he actually dives across just in time.
Dude, they got destroyed by utility. Too easy for Excurate.
Oh, he's not missing those shots in his current form. Absolutely not.
The win seems just out of Checkmate sales coming into this OT half. They look a lot less poised than what we saw throughout the rest of the game. Yeah, we did mention that NKT CT side looked the more impressive defense of the two teams, but we've never seen Checkmate have this much of a false start.
Very true. Still unknown as to what NKT are going to be bringing on their T-half, though. It could very well be the same.
Probably mental strain for us.
I mean, mental strain for the players as well, right? I mean, this has been a long map now.
Right. I will say NKT seemed a bit sharper on the T side in the OT. It seemed like they had made kind of the right tweaks to their pacing. So definitely have a nice edge here.
Well, the last time around, they got 2 out of 3 rounds on the T side in that OT, so that definitely goes along with what you're saying just there. So if they could pick up 2 to kick things off, could easily turn into a 3rd. And it seems like Checkmate want to hold on. 10k in the OT will always cause this. Both teams will be feeling the pinch if they lose the first 2 rounds. That's exactly what's coming up. He's about to get sideswiped. Did they catch him around the box? Well, now they definitely know he's here. And Impression just takes his head off at range. Really nice shot. So one player will survive, but that's all they'll have. So they can buy behind this, but Coolast's down at 2.6k. So rough.
Yeah, no op, and someone's going to have to get a Galil. Maybe even 2 Galils. Nah, just the one onto Coolast. Everyone else is going to be on AKs. So yeah, no op in play. Coolast on a lesser rifle. But all in all, still fairly okay utility-wise. I mean, this guy just doesn't miss. They flashed him like 3 times. Didn't care. This is over.
Cast double spray and a 3rd as well. Now this is the NKT we're expecting, and he finishes it with style. A 1-tap straight to the dome of Coolast. That is a flawless clean sweep CT side, but can they finish it off? 3 chances.
I mean, I'm not going to say anything, but I think the safe thing to say is they should. You'd be kicking yourself if you don't, if you're NKT right now.
Oh, they're running into a 4-player stack here on long, though. Excurate is going to stay a little bit longer. Molly gets smoked off, but he connects another shot. I feel like he's got so many shots through the smoke these last 5.
And flashes. I mean, it just doesn't matter. The guy's hitting the shots. I mean, he has been absolutely absurd this OT with the op. Flashes, smokes, doesn't matter. And now B is exposed. 1 player here. Azteca with the op. Surely he gets traded. Or not. Mid flank also coming in here from Techno. He's going to get into lower. This gets a little bit scary now if you're on the attacking side. You need to make sure Techno doesn't ruin your plans. Oh, God. What a shot from Azteca. And capitulation right before your eyes.
Yeah, mainly facilitated because of the lower B presence there.
Mm-hmm.
They knew that the rotation hadn't come in yet. Here's Excurate with a fantastic shot to kick things off. Then everything just fell down. And I agree. I thought the Azteca was going to get forced out. The second he took that shot, I thought we were going to just see all the T's rush him.
I just feel like I guess they just thought maybe a second player was there, but still, I feel like you gotta just roll your 5-on-4 advantage at that point. They get a nice tag onto Cool Ass there through middle. Once again, they get stuffed at long A from utility, but they don't force through it. So that's nice. They also control lower B tunnels. They have vision on middle. So they have all their bases covered. Again, they get 2 cracks at this.
Azteca pushing through. We haven't seen any of those mid pushes, incidentally. It started to backfire. Flash is so good. Yields the hit and run.
Yeah, I really thought Impression would tuck behind the pillar and avoid that, but just steps out right into it. And so that's a big catch. Still a chance to maybe come up catwalk and make something happen if they can win this fight over Blitz. The other two are strong longing it, so they could plant for Cat and back off and still maybe have a shot at this round, especially with Cool Ass low on HP, but Blitz is still here playing the A ramp. Aircast trying to make sure they're not getting flanked through B tunnels. Maybe even trying to create a little bit of presence. Maybe even a little bit of a feint that they might be looking to go B.
Good shot from Azteca, somewhat gift wrapped across to him, and now NKT looking to try and bypass this A defense. 1-for-1, not good enough. They need to build on this. Player to the back of the ramp. Gonna be flashed in. Urkas taking flashes, but still takes down Kulast in the process. 15 seconds to play with. Urkas in for another headshot. Is there more in his sleeve? No, he comes to an abrupt end, but he's done enough to allow Excurate to go in for the post plant. And keep in mind, this is the man on fire right now. 42 frags. Sees the shot come from lower tunnels, or ramp, pardon me. And it's the other player that came from the lower tunnels now to the CT spawn. Excurate, still a man on a mission. Will be peeked in. First frag goes his way, and the second as well. And Excurate puts an end to this match and eliminates Checkmate.
What a fantastic